So what I'm showing you is a typical gas scam on dating sites that women or whoever's behind the other line will do. And here's some red flags of what they say and what they do. So your first red flag is the girl's going to be too pretty to be true. There's no way that a girl that pretty will be on a dating site talking to you. You got to look in the mirror and realize, what type of girls you can get. If it seems too good to be true, it most likely is. So that's one thing with the picture. If you doubt the picture, it's probably not true. The phone number they give you, the area code is usually in another state. And when you look it up on Google and you ask them why the number is in another state, they'll usually say, oh, they just moved here from somewhere else and they still have their old number. 99% of the time, that is a lie. They could even be using Google Voice numbers sometimes. A lot of the times, their responses feel like odd, and you'll just feel it. You'll feel that something is off. I don't really know how to explain this. Sometimes their wording will be off. Sometimes they're just not very emotional. Sometimes they just don't seem very interested in you. They don't ask you questions about yourself. The only thing they do ask you is money-related questions. They'll ask you what you do for work, and they try to get a sense of how much money you make and through what type of job you do. And this is all part of their scam. Sometimes their spelling is a little bit off, and it might not even be a girl you're talking to. It might be a guy. Whoever it is, it's not the person in the picture that sent it to you. So another red flag is they say that they have a car and that they're going to come to you, to your house. And no offense, but 90% of the women on dating sites, they don't have cars. And the 10% that do are usually ugly. Unless you're in the very, very top tier of men that meet the very, very top tier of women, which is probably, 1%. Most women don't have a car who look pretty. Also, when you're talking to them, they all of a sudden want to come over. These are what I call the long-term scammers. You have scammers that just ask you for money in the first sentence. You have different types of scammers. You have scammers from India, you have scammers from Uganda, you have scammers from Russia, and then you have the local American scammers. And there's all different ways to tell which type of scammer you're dealing with. For example, if you're dealing with a scammer in Uganda or Africa, instead of saying I am, they say am. So they will say am fine instead of I am fine. That's how they learn their English in Africa, is they use am. That's their English. So that's a way to tell that you have a Uganda scammer, basically. So some of these American scammers, they go for the long-term scam. So all of a sudden they want to come over, and this is when they are really desperate for money. They'll start to rush you. They'll start to rush this process. All of a sudden you get more texts from the person. They want to talk to you more. They have an excuse of why they can't be on FaceTime or why they can't prove it's them. Sometimes they will even get on FaceTime, show you their real video of them, real pictures, real video, real face, and still do the scam. Because they're so far away, they don't care, and they just really have no pride in themselves or anything. So sometimes they'll even do that. They'll prove that they're a real person and show you they're a real person and still try to scam you. But they will try to rush you. And they, as you say you're trying to get ready and give you a little bit of time before they leave and come over, they will often say, I already left. And they will try to rush you. This is kind of the end phase where they try to rush you. They often say that they left before you told them to. So this is the end process, the fast one. They have no patience at the end. All of a sudden, they either can't leave because they have no gas, or they have left and they're stuck at the gas station. This is where you start catching them in the lies, and it just goes in a rotation of everything starts to unfold, and everything you question them on, they cannot get right. Now, at this stage, they'll either block you or they'll continue the lie. So always do this. If you want to just end it, you could say, hey, I don't use Cash App or any of that stuff, so I can't send you any money. But if you just want to go along for fun because they wasted your time and you want to waste a little bit of their time, always offer to give them money in person, and even say, I'll fill up your tank when you get here. No one will ever say okay when you offer that. They will always say they're on empty and they can't make it. Their car just stalled. They're stuck at the gas station. They had already left and they're stuck at the gas station and they really need help. They're abandoned. They're stranded. Their gas is running on fumes. It's always they cannot go, they make it act like they don't even have enough money to get to the gas station. So even though you offer to fill up their tank, once they get to you, it doesn't matter. They'll always find a reason to deny it. Most likely they never left. Most likely they have no car. And most likely they're sitting there trying to get money for drugs or doing heroin, eating Cheetos with 10 kids, or they're overseas in a room full of Hindis, trying to scam multiple people. I've actually been around a girl before, and she was on a dating site, and she was scamming people right in front of me. And she was doing this almost exact same scam where she said she was going to meet up with people, and they would send her money to drive over to their house, and then after she got the money, she would immediately block them. And she told me this, and she showed me it. And she was laughing as she did it. And I just knew that this was a horrible person. And I eventually just quit talking to her because that's horrible. So sometimes these people are real people, but they're never going to meet you. And I had wondered how the girl that I was with, I had wondered how she was getting money to even do anything at all. And she was doing the exact same thing that I'm showing in the video. So the next thing, as a last ditch effort, they will deny everything, and then they'll try to make you feel bad. They'll try to guilt trip you that you're wrong, and they'll try to guilt trip you into sending the money. And your curiosity, and maybe you're lonely, you feel like, oh, maybe I should send this money to them, and it's only $10, it's only $20, it's worth the risk to see if they're real. No, don't do it. Don't send it. Like I said before, if you want to get this process over faster, say you don't have Cash App, you don't have PayPal, you don't have MoneyGram, you don't have any of that stuff. You have no way to send money. In closing, these people, they're not real. They're not here to date you, no matter how much you wonder if you made the right decision blocking them or who they are. You'll never know who's behind that screen. Block them and move on. It's as simple as that. Block them and move on. That's the best thing you can do. You wasted a little bit of time, but at least you didn't waste any money.